Hi, welcome to Genesis Engineers Academy. So, which empowers for better future. In this video, I am going to discuss on friction. So, let me first define the friction. It is an opposing force to the motion by applying this resistance force on the other surfaces. So what are the types of frictions? So basically, if you heard about friction, so there are two frictions basically. One is called dry friction, the other one is called wet friction. You can also call that. This wet friction is nothing but fluid friction. So this is not to be discussed here. So this will be dealt in fluid mechanics. In dry friction, also called as Coulomb friction, one is called static friction, the other one is called dynamic friction. So the static friction is the friction experienced by a body when it is at rest and up to the limiting point, you can say. Next one is dynamic friction. So after the motion has just started, the dynamic friction comes into the play. So always, as you know, static friction is more than the dynamic friction. We'll come to know in the future slides. Next one is loss. So these things are very essential to know fully about friction. So in this video, we are discussing only dry, right? Or that is over. The first point is the friction force is directly proportional to the normal reaction between the surfaces. If the surfaces are here like this one, horizontal or inclined, so this is not like that one. This is perpendicular to this or the perpendicular to this. Okay. So this is normal, that is why it is called normal, means 90 degrees. Next one is frictional force opposes the motion or its tendency to motion. Whether it is started as or it has tendency to move, that also the frictional force tries to move that, stop that one. Next one is the frictional force depends upon the nature of the surfaces in contact. So if they are very rough and the frictional force will be more, that we will discuss using the formula. So you have to keep in mind that. So this is very essential. Sometimes it is independent of area of and the shape of the contacting surfaces. What does it mean? Area. It is having that is a flat area of 2 meters by 3 meters, like that, is the same as that a line of 3 meters. So area doesn't matter. So you don't consider the area. Okay. So if you want it to consider from these points, it is nature of the surface and the normal reaction. Got my point? So this is also very important, even IES, SSC, JE. So there will be some questions based on these points only. If you don't understand these things, it will be a difficult one to decide. Okay. So for moderate speeds, so for lesser speeds, velocity is not a thing. Okay. So it is independent of relative velocity. For higher velocities, so the velocity comes into the play. There the frictional force will be reduced to some extent. Now, what is frictional force? I will define. So, the frictional force is directly proportional to normal reaction. Here I have taken N as normal reaction. So, if you remove this proportionality constant, we introduced this proportionality constant called coefficient of friction. You understand? So, what is meant by coefficient of friction? So, coefficient of friction mu is equal to F by N in this case, where F is equal to frictional force. So, we will also call limiting friction. that I will explain now. And mu is equal to tan phi. So these terms are discussed here. So if there is a body lying on the surface, the body weight acts vertically downwards, that you know, and the n normal reaction is perpendicular to this body surface and the surface over which the body lies. That is okay. So you have clearly understood this point. Now in this case I am applying the force P. Now that means I am trying to drag this body over the surface. Because of the surface roughness and some factors, this frictional force will oppose this motion. So up to what level this opposes? If the load is more than this one, okay, so there will be a movement. So that we will discuss. What is that? Limiting friction. You understand my point? Limiting friction. I will explain what is a limiting friction, right? So the frictional coefficient I represent as 0.1. You understand? So the weight of the body is 100 newtons. You understand my point? So by resolving these forces n is equal to W. So equal. So if the system to be in equilibrium, n minus W is equal to 0. Got my point? From that n is equal to W over. Because of this frictional force is introduced. So this F is equal to mu n, that is also equal to mu W. Am I right? Okay. If you resolve the forces horizontally, P minus F is equal to 0. What are these? Now the sum of the forces horizontal, or sum of the horizontal forces is equal to 0. From this equation I got this P is equal to F, that is equal to mu W over. Now F is equal to how much? F is equal to, I have taken straight away. So that is F is equal to 0.1 into W, 1000 newtons, will becomes 100 newtons. Okay. So the frictional force acting opposite to this applied force is 100 newtons. If I apply a 50 newtons force, so there will be no movement because the frictional force is more. If I apply 75 newtons, there will be no motion. If I apply 100 newtons, then we can say the body is just about to move. That means it ready to impend or it ready to move. You got my point? So where P is equal to 100 newtons, F is equal to 100 newtons. This I call it as a limiting force, that is limiting frictional force. Up to that the body doesn't move. Okay. So at this point, at this junction, at this point the frictional force equals the applied force, then the body is ready to move. That frictional force we call it as limiting friction. From that position, even if you increase 1 Newton of applied force, that is say 101, the body starts move. So up to that it is static, up to equal it is static, after that it is dynamic. In this dynamic we also call as kinetic. Okay, it's over. Understand? So this I have shown. If I apply this one, the frictional force equals that one. So at this point this is ready to move. Up to that it even not move a single point. Understand? After that this is kinetic, that we call it as dynamic. Okay. So this is called static. So the limit is less than or equal to, less than also static, equal to also static. Then So the maximum force in this case is the limiting force. You understand? Up to that we have to take the coefficient of static friction. So now coefficient of dynamic friction is mu k, that is always less than mu s. So sometimes you also have a chance to appear this question. Okay. So next, angle of friction. What is that? How mu is defined? Mu is equal to F is equal to mu n. That means it is equal to P. So that is the limiting condition. So F is equal to mu n, then mu is equal to F by n. So this now onwards should be read as limiting friction, and means limiting frictional force. And this is the normal reaction. That's over. Got my point? Now taking this one F and n. So if you draw here, there's nothing wrong. That is F. So n is the force, is a vector. F is a force, is also vector. If I wanted to find out the resultant of these two forces, I can name this as R resultant. Okay. Now I represent this as a phi. That is called as angle of friction. What is that angle of friction? The angle between normal reaction and the resultant R. N is the normal reaction, R is the resultant. The angle between N and R is called angle of friction. Now from this triangle, I can find out trigonometric identity, that is tan phi is equal to opposite side by n. That is represented as mu. You got my point? So tan phi is equal to coefficient of friction. If you are asked to find out what is phi, this is tan inverse F by n or tan inverse mu. Okay. So with this you are familiar with these words and you concentrate on units also. So most important thing is less than means there is no movement, equal to about to move, greater than then it will be in motion. Kinetic friction is always less than the static friction. Kinetic and dynamic both are same. Okay. Now, so the normal force is always perpendicular to the contact surface of an object, and the frictional force is parallel to the contact surface, and it's always in opposite direction of the force causing the motion. So the force is like that. So now if I wanted to explain, so I will take these three examples. In this case, the load is applied on the top, so there will be no motion. The force will also help to keep the body at rest. So there, because there is no motion, there is no frictional force. That is the thing. Next, here in this case, by applying an external load, also sometimes on inclined surfaces, if you keep the body, it will have tendency to come down. In this case also, okay, so the frictional force comes into the play, right? So these are, I have not applied anything, but the situation itself keep the body in motion and tries to move the body down. You understand? So that is the difference between this and this. Don't get confused. Here I am applied the force, here I have not applied the force. No, not that. So this is the horizontal surface, this is the inclined surface. In bodies on inclined surface will definitely have a tendency to come down. It all depends upon the angle of that surface. Okay. So now I am applying the force here. This is the external applied force. It is the vertically downwards, and this is the opposing force. I have to form two equations. One is horizontal. Sum of the horizontal forces is equal to how much? P minus F is equal to 0. These two equations has always to be formed, and sum of the vertical forces is equal to, that is N minus W is equal to 0. These are the equilibrium equations, that is to keep the system in equilibrium up to equal, right? So from this equation I got this. Okay, so if F is less than mu n, no motion. If F is equal to mu n, limiting friction, that is called motion impending. If F is more than mu n, then motion begins, then it is called kinetic friction. This mu is changed. Okay, that is over. Now I will move on to, in this case I have applied the force horizontal. So horizontal force, if I resolve this force, it will not have vertical component, so it is only horizontal force. If I apply the force at an angle theta, what would happen? So inclined force will always have two components. One is called horizontal component, that is P cos theta. The other one is called P sin theta. You got my point? So I have to always form equation. In this case, there are three forces, N, W and then P sin theta. You got my point? If I resolve these things and add up all these things, you will get that is N is equal to W minus P sin theta. So what you have to understood from this one, so the normal reaction is reduced because the limiting force, that is the force applied, have a vertical component. This component always tries to move up the body. You got my point? If in this case there is no vertical component, in this case there is a vertical component. If theta becomes 0, sin 0 0, then you will have the same equation in this. So like that you have to compare all these things, and F is equal to, that is P cos theta, that is horizontal. You have only two horizontal forces, not P. You have to only, if there is an inclined force, you have always have to have, that is resolution of a forces. So this is horizontal component, this is vertical component. That means we have divided this P into horizontal and vertical. Okay, that is over. So if you all solve this one, so you have to apply, that is mu is equal to tan phi, that is nothing but sin phi by cos phi. So using this, all these things, so cos of A minus B, cos of A minus B, from this I got this value. What is that? The force required to drag on a horizontal plane. So that is here, this is the angle the load making with the horizontal. Okay, so this is from this I have derived, and the persons preparing for SSC JE has to have this derivation knowledge also. Okay, so the least force, if I make this one, okay, so if I make this as equal to 1, then cos theta minus phi is equal to cos 0, then theta minus phi is equal to 0, theta is equal to phi. What is that? Inclination is equal to angle of friction. Then you will have least force. You have to apply a least force. In this case, you may have to apply more force. Okay, cos 0 is maximum. So in the denominator, if you apply from this equation also, you can expect from, it is the denominator, if the denominator decreases, the P increases. You understand my point? Right. From this equation also you have to apply. So what is the maximum force? Anything is, so that from this equation also you can decide what is the force, maximum force you are applying, and what is the least force you are applying. Okay, so if you theta is made 0, then you will get this as this one. I think, I hope you have understood to this. And don't forget to subscribe my channel, that is Genesis Engineers Academy. In this case, so that I have to, you have to read well and observe well. So this is the force, this is the body, and this is the weight W. It vertically downwards. It's okay. If you, and you also have a knowledge of angles. This is theta, this is 90 minus theta. The total angle is 90, sorry, this is 90 and this is 90 minus theta. Got it? So if you take this angle, also triangle, this is 90 minus theta, this is 90 and this is theta. In engineering mechanics, you should have this knowledge of finding the angle between any two forces like that. Otherwise, the error may forcefully come into the picture and you will be arrived at wrong solution. Okay, so instead of for the clearance, clear understanding of the figure, I have drawn n upwards. Okay, so now if you resolve that, so you understand this one, because here our reference plane is this. You understand? If you wanted to play this, you can place this as y and x. So you have to forget this one. Once you put this angle here, you can forget anything. Now to this axis, it is inclined. So this inclined force or weight will have two components. One is called W cos theta, the other one is called W sin theta. You understand? So I have not applied any force externally. So but because of this load having two components, one is pressing the body over the plane, the other is dragging down. You understand? The force which is responsible for the movement of this body is W sin theta. Very essential. The force which is responsible for dragging the body downwards on an inclined plane. This is inclined plane. You got my point? So this is inclined plane. Okay, so from, because it has tendency, because this force is acting downward, that is in this direction, and there is a frictional force. Okay, so for resolving the forces and finding the normal reaction, everything, you have to take this as the reference, not this. Okay, so now I will take this y axis. I have only this n and w, only two vertical forces to this reference plane. So n is equal to W cos theta, and if you resolve horizontally, that is along the plane or inclined plane, you have W sin theta is this one. You can straight away get these values. This is responsible for applying the frictional force. Got it? At limiting condition, this is the limiting condition. So what would happen? Mu f is equal to mu n. Okay, mu is there, n is equal to W cos theta. Okay, W cos theta. I have substituted this value. Next, W sin theta. You cancel this and mu is equal to tan theta. Okay, but we have defined mu is equal to tan phi. Got my point? Mu is equal to tan phi, that is also equal to tan theta. Therefore theta is equal to phi. Now you have another word, that is called, another term called angle of repose. Angle of repose. What is meant by repose? That is right? So the friction, if the angle of inclination, this is called angle of inclination of that plane, is equal to angle of friction, that means it limiting condition, then the body tends to move. Okay, if theta is suppose this is 15 degrees, what this? Fine. If theta is 10 degrees, okay, so there may not be. If theta is equal to 15 degrees, then the body will automatically moves down or tries to move down. We can say that. But it all depends upon the mu also. Next one is, so like that you must able to draw the figure clearly, neatly, understood, and if you want you can remove the bodies, then it should be called as a free body diagram. Okay, so the same thing I have written here. In this case, see the difference between the previous and the present case. I have applied the force here. I have applied the force here. In the previous case, I have not applied anything. Okay, so in this case, to the applied force, the frictional force is opposite. The frictional force is always, you forget about this. Why I am trying to apply this one? Even if it has got the tendency to come down, I will apply the force to keep that on that plane at rest. For that I am applying this one. Or otherwise, you might have observed, it may be tied to that vehicle, like you may place some wedge under the tires, like that also you can assume. Okay, so that is the force applied of that one P. Now my reference plane is only this. This is the x-axis for me. I won't bother about this angle, this plane. So if this is the angle of inclination, this angle of, you can straight away use this angle of inclination. You understand my point? So this is the normal reaction. This is the downward tending force. If you resolve all these things, you will have this one. You find out what is that. For that, I will resolve the forces, vertical forces. N is equal to W cos theta. Okay. Now F is equal to, horizontally, if F is the P is taken as positive and the W sin theta minus F is equal to 0, then P is equal to F W sin theta. But F is equal to mu n, F is equal to mu n, n is equal to W cos theta. Therefore, P is equal to mu W cos theta plus W sin theta. If you take the W as a factor, W is into mu cos theta plus sin theta. So that is the effort required to move body up. You understand? I am applying this one. Okay, so I am applying force upwards. So what is the effort you have to apply? This is the effort. The load applied, we call it as an effort. So to required to move down. So this is the minus term. So it is already got this one, W sin theta. If you resolve this one, or otherwise you can make that one, right, mu W sin theta minus W mu cos theta. So this already trying to keep down, and this is resisting up. So that is the effort you have to apply. So every point you have to study carefully. So in the next video, I will take the examples, that is the previous questions from GATE and SSC, so that I will master U in this friction. So you have to try like this one. What happened to that? In this case also I am applying the force at an angle theta. You understand my point? In the previous case it is horizontal or otherwise parallel to. We cannot say horizontal. Horizontal is only this. So this is parallel to the inclined plane, and this is in the previous case. In the present case, in this case, the load is parallel to, that is at an inclination theta. This is theta, this is also theta. Even if it is different, you can find or resolve all these things. So what are the forces? Resolving forces. Some of the forces, first you have to do vertical forces. You can find out what is normal reaction. Okay, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis. What are the forces acting? P sin theta, n under w cos theta. If you write n, okay, plus P sin theta minus w cos theta is equal to 0. From this you have to find out what is n. So that is w cos theta minus P sin theta. You read it. So this is from this equation, equilibrium equations. And the other equation, that is along the plane. So because it is having inclined, so it is having two components. And along the that plane, inclined plane, I have w sin theta minus f minus p cos theta is equal to 0. Then you have to find out what is what. Then you have to substitute this here and find out what is required. Okay, so this is all about this one. So I want so this is the equation for some of the, this is the equation for horizontal forces is equal to 0, that is to keep the system in equilibrium. Okay, so at rest means it is in equilibrium, and this force tries to these things, because the frictional force, don't get confused. So if there is no force applied externally, the frictional force is opposite to this load, because it tries to bring down. But when we apply the forces, and the frictional force is always opposite to this force. So yeah, I give this as a assignment for you, and you arrive at this. Okay, next very important one is this one. So this is more or less equal to bolt and nut and screw jack. All this will happen to that. So what happened to that? So this is the same thing, but load is here, because it is having an angle here theta. Okay, so this is theta angle of inclination. This is the w vertically downwards. This is the n perpendicular to this surface and body, and you will have this is horizontal component p cos theta, vertical component P sin theta, and you accordingly resolve the forces both vertically and horizontally. You will get this formula. So what is this? This is the effort is equal to w tan theta plus phi. Theta is angle of inclination, phi is angle of friction. So you add up this. If you wanted to move up, so these angles are added, and if you wanted to lower the load, you have a difference of these angles. Sometimes you may get confused, that is minus and everything. If you get this minus value, the direction of this one will come, will be changed. So that utmost care has to be taken. So that this the same formula I can apply for a screw jack, that is w tan theta plus phi, that is angle of inclination and angle of friction. that is to lift, that is move up. And if this is lesser, so it is 15 degrees, it is 15 degrees, it is 30 degrees, like that. So it is 20 degrees, it is 15 degrees, okay. So that is 35 degrees. So if it reaches 45, what happens to that? The effort is equal to W. So sometimes you also have to have these mathematical gimmicks. If theta minus something is 0, what happens to that? Okay, so easy. This is, so means you need not have any force. If theta is equal to phi, so this becomes 0, tan 0 is equal to 0 and effort is 0. Without your effort, the body moves down. When this happens, that I have already explained. If theta becomes phi, it is always the case of angle of repose, angle of friction, angle of inclination. So with this, I'll move on to the other. So these are the important points. If you can remember, but keep in mind that, so for to move up, there is the add up sum of the angles, and this is, but theta must be before, that is. So these are the things appeared in the previous cases. Which of the following terms best describes frictional force? Non-contacting surfaces, contact surfaces, static non-contact forces, contact forces, static forces. None of these. So you will come up, I will explain. And next one is the angle between normal reaction and the resultant of normal reaction, and he has not given resultant directly. Resultant of normal reaction N and the frictional force F. So that is R. So Rn, this is the angle. So that is angle of friction. So what is this? Contact forces. So not static, that doesn't matter. So the answer may be here, contact force. If there is no contact, nothing will happen. Okay, so with that I say goodbye, bye now for today. So if not subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget to press the like button, share among your friends. If you want anything, any video, special video you wanted to have, you can write on comment box, so that I will think it of and make videos. And my intention is not to get that is popular, but I wanted to help the people who wanted to see the success in their endeavors. That is why my logo, my motto is to empower you for better tomorrow and also better future.